Hello and welcome to the Merl and Locke podcast. I'm Merl.
And I'm Locke.
Set sail and low expectations for everything nerd, accompanied by a healthy, albeit shameful, helping to pointless banter, lack of focus, and questionably acquired knowledge. To start us off here, Locke, alright, something's been troubling me, for no, it hasn't been too long. It's just like, especially today, man. Like,
Yeah.
it just irks me,
Please, do tell.
It has to do with being a parent, So I know you might not be able to empathize necessarily, but just hear my plight. Okay?
I'm all ears, but
Okay. So, usually when it comes to my child, I'm pretty good at like keeping her aligned and pushing like the whole, manners, be respectful type thing. Don't treat anybody the way that you wouldn't want to be treated. And things like that. But after we got back from our little summer vacation and we got back home here, she's been spending pretty much every day with her mom, right? With her mom and her mom's boyfriend, and she's been staying at their house for almost a month now. And I don't know what it is, but they don't seem to be like as honor as I'm used to being, as I'm accustomed to being.
Mhm.
Now, it's not that like I see myself as being some kind of hard ass or anything, but she requires a lot of attention,
Right.
And I gotta be on it, man, because the moment I slip, like things start going haywire, yeah.
Right.
And I feel like she's ruined. Like everything's gone out the window, and it's not even been a month, and I'm like, what the hell? What happened to you? And it's such a frustrating thing, and like today, right? Like when it comes to me spending time with my daughter, we're usually like, like we spend time with each other, and we're usually like, caring for one another, and we're goofy and stuff, and we play, we do whatever, we talk about whatever. We could just be like completely open, no judgment whatsoever. That's what it's usually like. And today, she went into her room, like after she got home from school, she went into her room and she was, playing on her Nintendo Switch, and I got up and went in there and seeing what she was up to, and decided to strike up conversation. Like, okay, so you know how I am with starting conversation, like going on a rant. Like I do it for the podcast. I just go on a big rant about something, and I just keep talking and talking and talking.
That's
I do the
right.
same.
You just never stop talking.
I do the same thing. No, I do the same thing with my daughter, but it's not anything like, it's usually not something serious, right? Like most of the time. Like sometimes we get into like, absurd social conventions and what have you, like things that are expected of her that make no sense to me personally, but I want to try to maintain the facade that I'm a decent parent, and I try to blend in with the rest of the NPCs and what have you, and I try to express that to her, what I'm trying to do and my intent behind it. But anyway, besides that, we usually just have like goofy little conversations. And I went into her room today, and I was like, because she was only here for like maybe 2 hours before her mom picked her up. And I went in there and I was like, hey, you ever like make up, like a unit of measurement or something with your friends, or like while you're like, role playing by yourself, playing games by yourself, whatever it may be. If you ever made up like a unit of time and named it something funny, like, and she's like, what? And I go, yeah, like say if you wanted to come up with a unit of time to represent the how long it took, for you to get ready in the morning, let's say. So like the 10-15 minutes it takes you to get ready in the morning before you get out the door. That unit of measurement right there, like just come up with something like a word or something, like say like a Google minute or something, or Google gobber, and you call it that. That's the represents that unit of time that it takes you to accomplish something, and then you refer to that, that word that you had made up to like other people that are on the, in the know, like your close friends or something, that you made up this unit of time, and you guys can reference that amount of time to one another, and to let each other know something like, it'll only take me a Google gopper, and I'll be out to at the basketball court to play with you, or something like that.
Right.
And your friends know, like, oh, Google gopper, so you'll be out here in 15 minutes. Cool. And I asked her that, this whole theoretical thing, it wasn't meant to be anything serious. I was just, coming up with some stupid stuff to talk about, just striking up conversation. And she's like, she starts off giving me like the most condescending look, with looking at me like I'm, I got a few screws loose, right?
Right.
Which, I mean, I've gotten that look in the past, especially from her mother. But, I mean, like, I never gotten it from her before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at me like that, and she's like, she pulls out an insult. First of all, she's like, what are you, from, like, 1930s or something? You're always walking around saying golly and this, that, and the other. And I was like, well, first of all, where the hell did that come from?
There you go. Well, gee willikers, what does that really mean?
stuff like that. It's like she comes out like out the door with that, like,
right,
just to insult me for some reason. I don't know. And I didn't even say any of those words at that time during that conversation. And I was like put off by it, and she's like, "Dad, you're so cringy, That and she like scoffs at me, and I was like, what? Like what? Why? I was like, why? It felt like I was being attacked. Right. I was like, I was just coming in here to have a silly conversation, Just, I mean, I wasn't trying to get anything. I was just, and like it felt so bad, like it hurt, And yeah. I was like, you're just like writing me off and telling me I'm cringy and like trying to make me stop. And I was like, I was just
trying to have
time
fun
with you. Yeah, and like it hurt so bad. And like she would usually spend more time with me, and I would find her acting like this, in front of people, right? Where we always had this cue that we would do where like she would start acting this certain way, kind of like an asshole, she can be a real jerk, and just like completely like just tear people down for no reason at all. Mm-hmm. And I'll call her out. But I won't like try and embarrass her or anything, because I don't want her to like resent me for that. I'll just be like, I'll just like pull her aside and be like, hey, quit performing, right? I'd say quit performing, like, because I know she's trying to perform for somebody, not me, obviously, but for somebody else, like for her friends or whatever, because she's trying to, I don't know, look cool, look tough, whatever. And I'd be like, hey, quit performing. And she would like nod. And then, like everything would start simmering down a bit. And we always had that. And like I would call her out, be like, I would say that and like get her to be, herself. Just be yourself. Quit trying to perform for your friends and make them think that you're cool or tough, whatever it is.
Right,
whatever,
right.
Yeah. And, which is something that I find absolutely insufferable. But, but now, like, just over this past month that she's been spending all this time at her mom's, like, that's, like, it's like she's completely succumbed to this persona of asshole.
It's just
You know?
asshole, the persona.
It's just, yeah. it's like that's just what she is now.
Right.
Like what she's just like come to that, and she's gone nowhere. Like she's just gonna be that now. And I don't understand. Like she was confessing to me the other day. I was taking her to her football practice, and we were driving in the car, and she was talking about like she was talking about school. You know, she like gets in trouble at school a lot, and I was like, well, why are you getting in trouble at school? And she's like, I don't know. I just think the teachers like give me crap sometimes, and I don't like it, so I like talk back and defend myself. I'm like, well, yeah, that's that's admirable. Just like but like read a room, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's no need for it, if you could just like shrug it off so easy, why don't you just roll with the punches, man? Like why do you feel like you got to make a scene? Like just put on a face, be like, oh, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, or whatever, and then move on.
Why not? Somebody once said that life is a stage.
Life is a stage.
Might as well perform. Make it interesting.
Man, it's the hardest thing, and like this is something that, like I was saying before, like the social norms and whatnot that we have.
Yeah.
Like I was telling her that it's all, we all just go through the motions for some reason. It's a very delicate system that we've put together, and it all depends on everyone's participation. That's the only way it survives. And it's odd, but just like to avoid, I don't know, I feel like to avoid like headaches and stuff, like you can go through the motions, you don't have to believe any of it, but like just go through the motions and blend in. Quit trying to stick out like a sore thumb, you know?
You mean be the NPC?
Yeah, like
join in. Take what is it? The blue pill? Yeah, we'll take the blue pill.
Is it the blue pill?
Just live in that little fake world, just for a moment.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but she's so rebellious, like she just doesn't adhere to any of these systems, which which is something that I think might be my fault, admittedly. Unfortunately, because like it's not, because I always hated the thought of like everybody's like, oh well, kids, they're usually jerks from age 7 to 12 or whatever it is, and they're like it's just because they're trying to like learn all the rules and this and that, and they're like rebelling against them. And I'm like, these rules are stupid. I was like, but like I tried, like I tell her the rules. Like she knows the rules. Like we've gone over it many of time. Mm. It's just, I tell her like I know they're very stupid. Like these. Like, we're a bunch of silly little creatures on a flying fucking space rock, But we gotta live according to, these people that we don't know.
Right.
Who are these people?
Who are these people?
Holding all the strings.
Questions.
No.
The controversy.
Oh my god. Man, this episode is not gonna get recommended.
Might not.
Man, all of our overlords. We gonna silence this one.
Anyway, I do want to go back to what you said. I would have followed up along with you if you would have mentioned about making up measurements, because we've all done that, right? You say
what are you talking about?
how far away your next door neighbor is, and you'd be like, they're within spitting distance, or when you what you never heard of that? They're within spitting distance.
No, what are you talking about?
I'm going back to when you mentioned about the coming up with your own units of measurement or your own.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, I'm going all the way back.
I was like, what are you talking about? Dude, that was like 15 minutes ago.
I know.
My brain has gone so many different.
I know.
You know,
we're going all over the place. That's what we do.
Going all the way back. Holy crap!
Absolutely.
Wow. All right, let me get in the mindset again. All right, no, continue.
No, so these like measurements that have existed, they're just random things that people thought of, right?
Right.
So when you're explaining how close somebody is, you're like, they're within spitting distance, or
yeah.
What's another one? One of my favorite ones is we were about a bee's dick away from accomplishing our goal.
Bee's dick. Or it's grandma's house is a hop, skip, and a jump away, or whatever.
You know damn well it wasn't a hop, skip, and a jump. It's just
that'll get you like what, 6 feet?
Maybe. I mean, it really depends on how good you are at
how
doing a long jump.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it depends on the person.
Measure.
Yeah, so it's not. so these are actual words that we're using.
Yeah.
Which I guess would be less cringe,
Right.
In accordance with my daughter's, radar of cringiness. Those would be considered less so, I suppose.
Hey, I think that there are more cringy things that were created past our generation, as words that are now in Webster's dictionary, where they're like, yeah, this is what this means. Like, when you go, yeet, it just means that you're throwing something into the distance. What do they consider it? Let's see what their actual terminology is. It's an interjection. Used to express excitement or approval, a sudden expression used while throwing something, especially with force. So this
so it's meant to be just to be an interjection by throwing something.
Yeah.
And yelling it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's crazy to know some of the things that have made it into dictionary, whether it's Urban Dictionary or Webster's. It's almost fascinating.
Oh yeah, we were having that conversation the other night about what was the word? We were talking about all these new words that were coming out, and one that I hated in particular, delulu.
Yeah, delulu.
Delulu
instead of delusional.
Rather than saying delusional, you say delulu, and people would, I guess they would say it when referring to let's say, for example, you were referring to something that you had done or something that you had thought, like, am I delulu for thinking that they this person likes me or something like that. Something in that regard. So that was something that I took a strong distaste for. It was because like as far as all the new ones I've been learning, like bussin' or no cap or on God
For real,
or for real.
You realize that there are certain people are just gonna absolutely hate the fact, or talk mad smack about the fact that we're
talking about it in general.
that we just don't care for these words.
No, okay. So yeah, they're silly, but I mean, like, I feel like every generation has their their spell of silly words.
There's that. Well, absolutely, but I feel like some of those words is something that I would have heard in the movie Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie for so long. People keep referencing it.
Oh my god, it is a great movie.
But I barely remember it.
Just this dystopian future where Costco is just your main branch of everything.
Right. And I hear everybody's wearing Crocs,
Something like that. Your most average person in about 10 years ago, your most average person would have been the smartest person in their world, because all they care about is entertainment. What else do they care about in that movie? There's like the monster trucks, Terry Crews as president. Hilarious. Hilarious.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll have to revisit it and
absolutely
and see what everybody's talking about, because man. Anyway, so what is the the all around message from this episode? The message is, what the hell are we talking about?
Well, let's see. It all started.
No. What was like the, like I always tried to like get an idea, right? Like what the overall surrounding topic was, like if we were to describe it in one word, like a topic that could, or one word that could, branch off into all these topics that we had covered. What is that one word?
It's bussin'.
Bussin'. Okay, I'm stopping it there. That's it. We're done. We're done. Thank you for joining us on the Merl and Locke podcast. If you enjoyed this banter, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/merlandlocke, or simply follow the link in the description. Thank you.